Hey, beautiful friend. Hey, you. This is just for you. Because I see you struggling. I see you. I know there's something you want to do. There's things you want to do in this world, in this life. But there's something holding you back. And I know because I've been there. I've been there. So I want to share some secrets with you. But it's just between me and you, okay? I want to know, firstly, how confident you would say you are. How confident if 10 was like immensely confident, never doubt yourself, and 1 was like you wish you were invisible. How confident would you say you are? Bearing in mind that changes from day to day. Because I used to think that I didn't used to think I was lacking in confidence, put it that way, until I started actually working on my confidence. I realized there were things that I wasn't doing, things that I wasn't saying, and I wasn't showing up completely as myself, because we all have this thing about, oh, what will other people think? What will other people think? Blah, blah, blah. And I used to say that the truth about confidence is learning not to give a shit about what other people may think of you. And I add the may because so often we make assumptions about what other people may think. And usually when we make those assumptions, we think they're thinking negative. I've done it myself. The amount of times I've thought to myself or said to someone, oh, you must think X, Y, Z of me. You must think I'm an idiot. You must think I'm stupid. You must think this, that, and the other. But the irony is that we spend so much of our life worrying what other people may think of us. And we forget that they're doing the same, that we're the same as everyone else, and that they're probably worrying what you think of them. That is the irony. But yeah, so I would say the truth about confidence is learning not to give a shit what other people may think of you. But I realise that that's not always easy, especially if you're a people pleaser, especially if you have a low sense of worth, a low sense of self-esteem, if you don't love and accept yourself. And that was me also for a lot of years. I didn't love and accept myself. We spend so much time wishing that we were something that we're not. We spend so much time resenting what we're not instead of embracing what we are. Me, for example, I would love to be, I'd love to have curves. I'd love to have boobs and a bum. But I've learned to love the body I've been given because life is too short, apart from anything else. Life is too short to go around worrying about stuff. But I know that people who are people pleasers, who are worried about what other people think, and also insecure people or sensitive people, it may not be as easy as just learning not to give a shit what other people may think. And now that doesn't mean that you don't care about other people's feelings. That's something entirely different. It's the ability to not allow any negative opinions or negative thoughts to derail you. And that takes time and practice. It's not something that is going to happen overnight. It just doesn't, but it can be worked on. But here's the thing. Children who are brought up in a healthy, loving, nurturing environment are full of confidence, aren't they? I remember as a child, more often than not, I remember going out with my stepfather, who I hated, but that's another story, to their work events. And I would be on the dance floor performing in front of people I didn't know. I had so much confidence when I was younger, and most kids who are brought up in a healthy, loving and nurturing environment are full of confidence. Unfortunately, life, negative experiences can knock our confidence, and if that knocks our self-worth, self-esteem as well, it can kind of snowball. It snowballs, we have no sense of self-worth, no sense of self-esteem, and then all kind of tiny little things can compound it. You know, because some people can take knockbacks and rejection and bounce straight back. Other people struggle. You know, you get some people who just won't take no for an answer and just keep going, keep going, keep going. And other people, like me, who will receive one kind of no and see it as a failure. That's what I used to be like anyway, not what I'm like now. And there's also the fact that us humans have what is called the negativity bias, which basically means that we focus on the negative stuff. So we focus more on everything we've got wrong. We focus on everything we've done badly. We focus on everything we've failed on, instead of reminding ourselves of all the things that we're good at, of all the things we've got right, of all the things that we do well. And the negativity bias was a survival mechanism, basically, so that we could be alert to danger. Because in the years when we were cavemen and women, if you heard a sound in the hedge, you had to assume that that was a saber-toothed tiger just about ready to jump out and eat you. You couldn't go, "Ooh, what is that?" Because it might just be a kitten or something, because by that time, you could be someone else's lunch. So we have the negativity bias. We are hardwired to focus on the negative. But here's the good thing. You can literally rewire your brain. And I'm not just speaking metaphorically. It has been shown in studies, brain scans. We can rewire our brain. And the way to do that is to take time to consciously focus on the positives. And there's several ways you can do that. One, very simple, anytime you have a pleasurable experience, even if it's something as simple as enjoying a cup of tea or coffee, is to really take time, take a few seconds to absorb that feeling. If you're looking at a beautiful sunset, again, take a few seconds to absorb how it makes you feel. If you're hugging someone you love, or you're in the middle of a yoga class feeling really good, take a few seconds to really, really notice, stop and notice how that feels. Because we tend to really notice when we're angry and pissed off, don't we? We don't tend to acknowledge so much when we're feeling happy, when we're feeling joyful, or we're looking for the big things in life. You know, we're looking for the big events, you know, someone getting married, someone's birthday, whatever, instead of realizing that life is a series of moments. And the more we focus on the good things, the little things, the more we realize that they actually are the big things. Because when we add together those moments, it outweighs the bad. You know, something simple like noticing a really beautiful flower on the way to work. "Hey Jenna, how you doing, my lovely?" Or as I say, looking at the clouds. I remember once driving somewhere and I saw a cloud that looked like Dumbo, flying Dumbo. And I was so gutted that there was nowhere for me to pull over and take a picture. But we're usually so busy racing through life that we don't stop to enjoy those things. We don't stop to smell the roses. So we can teach our brain, we can rewire our brain by really stopping. Anytime you feel any kind of pleasure, it doesn't have to be a big thing. It can be putting on a favorite jumper. I bet you've got a jumper, haven't you, that you just put on when you feel you need comfort. And that's just that thing, or that my dressing gown. I put my dressing gown when I need comfort. It's absorbing all those little moments. So we train our brain to focus on the positives. It's like I always say, imagine you've just bought a new car, you bought a white car, and all of a sudden it seems like there's more white cars because you're noticing them, because a white car is in your awareness. So you're more likely to notice every other white car. The same when you're focusing on positive things, you're more likely to notice the positive things around you. The other thing to do to retrain your brain is, at the end of the day, and I try and do this every day, is to ask yourself questions like, what did I enjoy today? What went well today? What am I grateful for today? Because, as I say, we tend to go to sleep thinking about the things we didn't get done, or thinking about the things that went wrong, or worrying about tomorrow. Whereas when we do that, when we focus on what we enjoyed, we're reliving the memory and we're kind of imprinting it into our mind. And we're also going to sleep on a happier vibe instead of worrying about the next day. So we do that to retrain our brain. So we focus more on the positives, so that we can remind ourselves of the things that we do right, of the things that we do well, of the things that we're good at. So back to confidence. You can say, what is confidence? And as I learning not to give a shit about what other people think, but I've read something today which is really good. It's a solid, realistic sense of who you are and you're deserving of a place in this world. A solid, realistic sense of who you are and you're deserving of a place in this world. And it's also a healthy sense of self-esteem, self-worth. I've realized that they all go together. If you don't have healthy self-esteem, you won't have healthy self-worth, and you probably won't feel confident. They all kind of go together. And confidence and arrogance are very different. Confidence is about joy, happiness, acceptance, compassion, whereas arrogance is often due to fear, insecurity, stress, resentment. You know, a lot of people who may appear confident or who may appear overbearing actually are very insecure. Bullies, for example, are often very, very insecure, and they will kind of deflect attention from themselves by making other people feel like shit. Because people who are happy and content with their life and with who they are do not go out of their way to make other people feel like shit. They just don't do it. I mean, you see it all the time with keyboard warriors. You know, the internet has provided, sadly, a space for people to say things that they wouldn't say to someone's face. And that is really sad. But if you remember that it comes from insecurity and also comes from a lack of significance, you know, they feel insignificant, so they try and make themselves feel significant by making other people feel like shit. And most of them wouldn't say it to someone's face. And it's really sad. But once we remember that, if we do receive negative comments, we can kind of not let it bother us so much. But we tend to spend too much time focusing on what we're not and what we wish we could be. So I would love to have curves. I would love to have a shape. I'm kind of like just skinny, just no shape whatsoever. But I love my body for what it allows me to do. And I wear pretty much what I like because life's too short. Because in 10, 20, 30 years' time, I wish I looked like I did now. So I could spend my time wishing I had boobs, wishing I had a bum, and not going out, not wearing the things I want to. But as I say, in 10 years' time, I may regret it. I love people who are able to go into a room full of strangers and just chat to anybody, who just go up to absolutely anybody and just chat away. I love people like that. I wish I could be like that. I can come alive in front of a room full of 100 strangers if I'm teaching yoga or if I'm coaching, yet put me in a party situation and I'm like, oh my God, what do people think of me? People might think I'm boring. Oh my God. Oh. So confidence can kind of be situational. You know, you've got a lot of people who are confident in one setting and not so much in another. But that's because when I'm teaching yoga, for example, I know that I'm good at what I do. I know that I'm good at it. And it's taken me a long time to get to the stage where I can say I am good at it, because I was the insecure person who deflected every comment, who received every compliment with thank you, but I'm not as good as so and so, thank you, but blah blah blah. And that's another story, because it's really rude to not just say thank you when someone compliments you, because when someone gives you a compliment, it's a gift. And us in our insecurities, we bat it straight back to the person by saying, oh thank you, but I'm not as good at so and so. Oh thank you, but this old thing. Oh thank you, but. No, just say thank you. Just learn to say thank you. So I could focus on what I'm not, or I could focus on what I am, what I love. And confidence can be learnt, as I have discovered. If you were to go back about 3 years and watch one of my lives, it's quite amusing, because I rarely smiled and I looked like I was like apologizing for my own existence. And here's the thing. Back then, I didn't think I lacked confidence. I would have said I was confident enough. And yet, looking back now, I can see a massive difference. So it can be learnt. And the thing to remember is no one starts out full of confidence. Whatever they're doing, whether they're an actor, a singer, whatever, no one ever starts out full of confidence, either in their delivery, as in how they do something, or in their ability. You know, I watch some people on YouTube. I follow people on YouTube. I do their yoga classes and their Pilates. And it's so interesting to see their growth, you know, watching their early videos to who they are now. You know, you see their confidence has grown. But what we tend to do when we see someone who we class as confident, we forget that it's taken them a long time to get to that place. We just assume that they're naturally confident when it's not true. So we often have a misconception about what confidence is, and we kind of forget that we can grow it, because I've done it, and that's why one of my passions is teaching other people to be confident, and remembering that there is a big difference between confidence and arrogance. When you're confident, You don't have to justify what you do. You have the ability to disagree with someone and know that it's okay to have different opinions. You have the confidence to try things that if it doesn't go right, then it doesn't matter. You don't let it stop you. And my life has changed in so many ways since I've started working on my confidence. It literally affects us in every level, in our health, our wealth, our relationships, our happiness, which is why it's so, so important. So I just want to give you a few tips to how you can start to grow your confidence, because as I said, it's not something that happens overnight. And just as a side note, again, I probably come across as quite confident, and I have got to the stage where I no longer worry so much about what other people may think. But before I go live, every time before I go live, I have an affirmation that I say, and it starts off, I now command my subconscious mind to take me to that place where I speak and act from honesty, love, personal power, gratitude, confidence, energy, and fearlessness. And it goes on a little bit longer. But it works as like an anchor, because confidence is like a muscle. The more you do things that you're slightly uncomfortable about, it builds your confidence muscle. And even if you're lacking confidence now, I'm sure if I said to you, close your eyes and think of a time when you felt really confident, when you felt really powerful, really in the flow, as if no one could knock you down, as if everything was gonna land at your feet and life was amazing. Now, it might be last week, it might be last month, it might be 20 years ago, but you'll think of a time, you might have been 5, it doesn't matter, but you'll remember a time when you felt fearless, when you felt full of confidence, full of like, yes, I'm in love with life and everything is great. So that's like an anchor. You can feel that as you're visualizing it, as you're thinking of that memory, you can feel it in your body. It's like whenever I do that exercise, I'm always taken to a place where I'm teaching a really good class. And that makes me feel in that moment kind of like powerful, empowered. So there will be a time, no matter how long ago or how recently, and you can use that as an anchor because you're still in there. You're still in there. So I use this affirmation as an anchor. So if I'm feeling a little bit fearful, feeling a little bit anxious, a little bit nervous, by saying this affirmation, because I say it every time before I go live, it reminds me of feeling confident and empowered. And why is it? Whenever I put the camera on, I get a dry mouth. So I'm going to give you 5 tips, and bear in mind that this won't happen overnight, which is why I have a program starting on the 5th of February called Absolute Confidence. Absolute Confidence. The first thing is to begin to like the person that you are. Self-acceptance. And this is why I said it doesn't happen overnight. And this means not judging yourself on your looks, your age, your size, your past, your mistakes, your actions, your behaviors, because we tend to forget that everyone can be selfish at times. That doesn't make you a selfish person. Everyone can say hurtful, nasty things at times. That doesn't make you a nasty person. Everyone can tell a little white lie at times. That doesn't make you a bad person. But when we're insecure, we judge ourselves on all those kind of things. We judge ourselves on our mistakes. We judge ourselves on our past. I mean, bloody hell, if we were going to judge ourselves on our past, I was a heroin addict going out shoplifting every day. So, you know what I mean? We are not our past. So beginning to like the person that you are, and also become someone that you can like. If you take a good look at yourself and you don't like what you see, and when I say see, I mean the whole person that you are, the whole, not just what you see with your eyes, but the person you are. I get impatient sometimes. I can be selfish, but on the whole, I like the person that I am. I've learned to like the person that I am. Knowing that I can make mistakes, knowing that I can be bitchy sometimes, not very often, knowing that I can be judgmental, so can we all. But on the whole, I like the person that I am. I'm pretty kind, I'm caring, I'm loyal, I'm honest, sometimes to the point of being a bit abrupt. I love animals. If I won like 100 million on the lottery, I would go out and help so many people and so many animals. So basically, I like the person that I am. And so self-acceptance needs to happen first. Number two, when you start to like the person that you are, self-love, self-acceptance will raise your sense of self-worth, because self-esteem and self-worth are two different things. So you can have a healthy sense of self-esteem in that you don't treat yourself badly, but you have a low sense of self-worth, which may mean that you unconsciously or consciously don't believe you deserve health, wealth, happiness, love, relationships, all those kind of things. So we need to work on your self-love, self-acceptance, accepting yourself as you are right now, which is what we'll be working on the program, which will raise your self-worth. Number three is to remember, really remember, that not everyone will like you. Not everyone will like you, and that's okay. I have got to the stage, and I got there a while ago actually, that I would rather be Marmite. I would rather be Marmite and people either love me or hate me than just be somewhere in the middle. You know, especially if you're in business, especially if you're looking to do the things you want to do, whether that's in business, life, love, whatever. Be Marmite. Evoke a reaction in people, because you'll have more of a positive impact. Because when I started changing my teaching, etc., I had amazing feedback, both ends. I had some people say, we don't like the direction you're going in, blah, blah, blah. But I also had really good life-changing, this has changed my life, I've made some major decisions, I really needed this kind of feedback, rather than, yeah, it's okay, we like it, da, da, da. So although I had negative feedback, I actually had more positive feedback, and it was such good. It wasn't just, oh yeah, I enjoyed that. It was like, wow, I fucking needed this. This is life-changing, that kind of thing. So know that not everyone will like you. And if everyone does love you, you're not being authentic. But it's okay. You know, it took me a long time to realize that not everyone will like the way I teach, the way I coach. But that doesn't mean I'm not good at what I do. That doesn't mean that I'm not worthy. Because if we all like the same things, life would be pretty dull, huh? Number four, focus on the things that you love and the things that you're good at. And also know that it's perfectly okay to do the things that you love, even if you're not good at them. You know, I like singing. I will sing. I can't sing. You know, so many people say, oh, I'd love to do X, Y, Z, but I'm no good at it. It's like, so what? If that gives you pleasure, if that gives you joy, fucking do it. It doesn't matter. I've got myself a little hang drum, and I'm learning. I'm not very good at the minute, but I'm learning. I enjoy doing it. But when we focus on the things that we love, we come alive. Like, I used to be two totally different people. Like the person I was on the street and the person I become when I'm in front of a class, I come alive. So finding things that we love, or doing the things that we love, builds confidence in ourselves. Because when we get passionate, that shines. When you have passion about something, that shines out of you, and that will attract people to you. Whether you're a network marketer, whether you're a coach, whether you're a yoga teacher, people are attracted to your passion. Now, I'm not the best yoga teacher in terms of technicality or remembering which muscle goes where, but people love my passion. People love my passion. I'm passionate about what I do. So focus on the things you love and do more of them, and focus on the things you're good at. If you're good at gardening, I'm crap at gardening. If you're good at baking, if you're good at sewing, focus on those things. Because when we are living life with purpose, or when we bring purpose to our life, we feel more confident. We feel more confident. And also remember, it's not a competition. There may be 100, 1,000 other people doing what you do, but no one will do it the way you do it. You know, there's people who don't like my yoga classes, and that's absolutely okay, because there's lots of people who love them, and that's okay too. And number 5 is the most important one. remember and know that even the most confident people still have their fears, their doubts, their worries, their insecurities, their bad days, their fuck ups, their screw ups. People who you admire, people who you look at and think, wow, I wish I was as confident as them. They still have days when they're like full of self-doubt. I remember one of my coaches, because I still have a coach, she put a post a while ago about how she'd been going through self-doubt. And the part of me was like, well, fucking hell. If she's doubting herself, there's like no hope for me. Really? But the thing is, we can use it to help make us grow, because so many people, say yoga teachers, for example, they may say they have 10 years experience, but actually they've got a year's experience repeated 10 times. Because if they haven't actually grown or evolved, learned more, expanded as a person, then they've just got the 1 year's experience repeated 10 times. So we can use that self-doubt, and every confident person, even if you know that you're good at something, and I still get nervous sometimes when I'm about to teach or when I'm about to coach, but we can use that to help us grow, because we need to aim for excellence instead of perfection. People who aim for perfectionism are actually very insecure. I'll just say that again in case you missed that. People who are perfectionists are actually very insecure. There is no such thing as perfect, because what is perfect for one person is not perfect for another. The same as my students think I'm their perfect yoga teacher. Other people hate the way I teach. So there's no such thing as perfect. So we want to aim for excellence. And the thing is, if you're trying for perfect, there's no room for improvement. Because if something is perfect, surely that means it can't get any better. No? I mean, if I look back, I've been teaching yoga for over 20 years, and I have changed so much over those 20 years. And I've had students who've followed me for all those 20 years. I've had students come and go, and I was good 10 years ago, but I was even more fucking better 8 years ago. And I was even more better 3 years ago. And I'm even fucking more better now, because I'm constantly looking for ways to improve and grow. So even when you built a bit of confidence, you will still have days when you doubt yourself. You will still have days when things go wrong. You'll still have times when you fuck up and make mistakes. That's just life. But we can use that kind of self-doubt, that worry. It's a sign that actually we care about what we're doing. It's a sign that actually we want to be good at what we're doing, that we want to make a difference to other people. You know, if I didn't care about whether my students got benefit from my classes, then I would never feel nervous, because I'd be like, I don't care. They either enjoy it or they don't. But I do care. So know that however you are right now, wherever you are on the scale of 1 to 10, you know, whether you're right at a 10 full of confidence, you can still go higher, or whether you're at a 1, 0 confidence, wish you could disappear, you can grow your confidence. And that is what the 3-day program, Absolute Confidence, is about. It's about getting to the roots of why you feel like you're lacking confidence, and also tuning you in to a more empowered version of yourself, tuning in to the person you want to be. So I would just, as a kind of, not challenge, just out of curiosity, just start paying attention between now and February to the people you admire, the people you think are confident, the people you look at and think, wow, I'd love to be as confident as them. And just notice what it is about them. Also notice people who you have an immediate negative reaction to. So people who you may think, oh, they're fucking up themselves, aren't they? Or they really think of a lot of themselves. They're fucking arrogant and cocky, blah, blah, blah. And just notice what it is about them that makes you feel that way. And we'll also be looking at shadow work, which is what happens when we have a negative reaction to someone. That's our shadow going, hello, hello. And we'll talk more about that on the program. So if you'd like some more information, because that's Miss Lulu here again, because as confidence can improve every area of your life. And I just know there's a desire burning in your heart that wants to come out, but there's just that little bit of, what if it fails? What if people laugh at me? What if it goes wrong? What will other people think of me? And we can get rid of that, because you deserve to be successful. You deserve to be happy. You deserve to have all your desires, all your dreams come true. And this world needs you. This world needs you in all your quirky, messy glory right now, because a lot of people have had enough of the fake, of the big lips and the big ass and the filters and stuff like that. This world needs you to show up as you are in all your messy glory, perfectly imperfect and fearlessly determined. So let's get you there. Enjoy the rest of your day. If you know of anyone else who would also appreciate a confidence boost, then tag them in this video and we can have a chat about the program. Absolute confidence. Soulful, badassery, spiritual confidence. Mwah. Oh, I've got dirty now. It's been at the horses.